Hello and welcome. In this video, we will be looking at mixed runtime federations using the new unified conversion. With the introduction of the unified conversion type, BIM files of different types have access to the data in a unified format, which gives us even more flexibility when defining runtime federations. Let's have a look. For starters, I want to show you the folder in which I've already imported a series of different files in the unified format. Now, if I go to the Federation Definition panel up here, you can see I can start by defining a new federation. This has remained the same as it used to be, but we have some new improvements. So for starters, let's create a federation. Let's call it Unified. Go ahead and save. Okay, and now you can see it's loaded up all the files in my folder. For these, we'll notice we have some new things available. For starters, we have the information of the conversion type that has been used. Also, we have the information of different versions. So we can see here for this particular DWG file, I have two versions of the file, and I can choose to create a federation with each either one I want. Of course, provided that they're converted in a supported format. So right now, federations can be defined only for unified format and previously supported formats. So that is why I'm getting an alert here telling me that this conversion type is not available. The other thing I would like to point out is that for files that support it, i.e. Revits and DWGs, I also have a view selector. So not only can I create federations with Revit files, but I can pick and choose a different view or phase that I might be interested in using. So for example, in this case, let's choose the new construction and let's start selecting files and adding them to my federation. So right now we're adding the architectural model. Let's also add a structural model that was imported as an IFC. And then let's add the MEP NWD model as well. Of course, remember to save. And to clean up here the section, I could also use the toggle to only show the items that are actually included in my federation. Now, the other thing I want to do is I want to make sure that the alignments are correct. So to do that, I'm going to switch over to the Alignment tab, let the models load in, and then here is where we can actually play and pick and choose different positions or alignments for my various models. So you can see here, I have access to the three models I've loaded in. And just for example, if I were to pick the MEP model, I can actually move it in relation to the rest of the models. Now in this case, the models are already aligned, so we're not going to be doing that. So let me just clear out this alignment. I'm going to go back to definition. Okay, so now I have my federation that I've defined. I can go ahead and I can download the template. So as always, I'm going to go to the template panel, pick my template and download it. I'm going to copy the API key. With this done, I can go ahead and open up my new template that I just downloaded. And once that has finished opening up, I'll have access to both the rendering and the data for each one of the models that I've added to my federation. Related to each other, so I can start creating advanced reports working with the data from multiple models at the same time. So let's just close this up. And if I move over the Power BI panels that are opening up, I can paste in my security key. And then once this is done, I will be able to refresh the whole data set as required. So here we have it, my template open up, and now I can see my unified federation template includes the data from all my models. So that is the IFC, the Revit, and also the Navisworks model that we were looking at before. If I switch on over to the model info section, here you can see I have the data for my various models included, and I can make all the selections that I would normally be doing in a Vcad report. So let's just give it a second to load up the different models. And then I can start making my selections and actually fleshing out and building the report as I would like to build it. So for example, if we go ahead and hide some elements and we want to have a look at the HVAC model, here we have it. And if instead I want to switch to the structural model from the IFC file, here we have that as well. So everything I normally would do with Vcad remains the same, but now it's easy to mix and match models from different file types. Okay, last thing I want to show you, let me close this up, is that we can actually now also create federations for 2D views and DWG files as well. So we can, again, mix and match those. So here I have my sheets folder, and the procedure is exactly the same. So what I can do is I can define a new federation. So we can give it a name. We'll call this 2D fed. Save. And as I said, this functions as it did before. So I'll pick my files. I can choose different views if I have them. And then I just save and then go to the alignment section. Here, as before, I can then choose different alignments for my models. So for example, I can drag down level 3. And further down level 2. There we go. So now I have my 3 aligned 2D planes. This is very useful. Let's go ahead and save this. Especially when you have a lot of DWG files I want to be managing together. This is a good and easy way to federate them and view them all as one in a single report. From here, the procedure is exactly the same as we just saw. I want to thank you for joining us for this video, and remember to stay tuned for upcoming videos and tutorials about how to use Vcad to improve your business intelligence.